therefore between Paris, who as the visitor will be opposing the motion, and Limine, who as home team will be proposing the motion. And the motion this evening is, this House believes that the best things in life are free. Our team is composed of Briac Piriou, our second speaker is Charlotte Vailly, she will be followed. The third speaker is Simon Fréhour. Followed by Nicolas Charrière. And the closing speaker for the proposition, in other words, the second last speaker of the 10, because the closing speaker for the opposition will be the last speaker. The closing speaker on the proposing side is Olivier Desbordes.
Imagine, you learn you are going to die. You are plunged in despair, and after a while, you decide to conclude a pact with the devil. This smart demon, what a good, helpful guy he can be at times, will do something that helps me to make my point. He will surely tell you something like this. I will allow you to live a little bit longer, but for every extra day you live, you will have to give me something that belongs to you. Here. I think you will probably first surrender things you despise or don't value very much, such as your mother-in-law, extra fat, or your banker. Here. But close to the end, what will you really give up? Money and material possessions, or your skills, your qualities, your feelings, your hopes and aspirations, your family, your friends, your loved ones? Here. Of course, as long as you possibly can, you will not give up any of these last things, which are consequently the best things in your life. I still have to prove that love is free. In fact, it's quite obvious. If you pay for love, can you still name it love? I imagine that some of our opponents will dare say that having a girlfriend, for example, can be gay, is not free. I want to answer them that you don't invest money in a relationship in the same way as you do for a startup. You cannot say, I bought her 30 meals, invited her to 10 movies, and gave her a nice bracelet. So I reckon that our relationship worth something like 200 euros. No!
So as Briac said, the best things in life are free. You don't have to pay for them. Well, I've got an example I'd like to talk to you about. The other day I was at a party and I got a pink freebie hat. And well, I love it. I mean, I got it for free. I would never have bought it otherwise, but now I just can't believe it. Oh, that's free! So, but more seriously, I'm going to go back to what Briac said. I went shopping and I bought a fabulous dress. I mean, it's really beautiful. But it was so expensive. I bought it on impulse and I really regret it. And, well, I feel so guilty that I do not appreciate it anymore. And then, what's more, to get rid of that guilt, I ate and ate and ate. And now I can't even fit in that dress.
You cannot deny that the best thing in life is life itself. And would you dare say that you can put a price on a human life? Hey, this just in from the New York Stock Exchange. Standard human lives just went down to $336.45. Price ever seen. I bet you want to buy some Dolly now, don't you? Anyway, I dare say that your parents did not pay anything to bring you to life. I mean, of course, maybe they had to take a hotel room, or maybe they had to pay a fine if they did it in the street and got caught. So as you see, life is the best thing in life. And life is free. Actually, what costs money is avoiding life. Condoms. Wear a condom, by the way. It's pretty risky out there. So. I'll tell you a little story about that. Once upon a time, there was a poor child in New Orleans that used to beg for money in the streets. He had made many friends playing football and hanging around in New Orleans. But one day, he invented this. He quickly understood how much money he could make with it. You know, and he finally became the CEO of a multinational firm. It's called Villac. Since 1911. But he got lonely. I mean, who wouldn't? He had no more friends. So he just felt the need to play with his childhood friends again. Who wouldn't? It's called melancholy. So he came back to New Orleans and tried to catch up with his friends. But his former friends despised him because he had let them down. They even proposed him to give them money so they could forgive him and be friends again. And you know what? He believed them, and he accepted, gave them money, and of course they weren't their friends. They weren't his friends again. He was naive. Now you see, you may think you were saying that we are naive and we live in a wonderful world, but it's actually people like him and like you who are naive, because this guy lost the most important thing because of money, and money could not get it back. So the best thing in his life was free. So just do not assume that money can make you feel happy, because the most important, what makes you really happy, is free. By the way, that guy in the story, he died alone, eaten by his cats. For all these reasons, ladies and gentlemen, I beg you to support the motion.
Here. Now, before I begin anything, I would just like to point out that the speech I'm about to give is totally free of charge and is most probably going to be one of the best times in your life. It seems important at this point to make the difference between the value of something and the cost of the same thing. The cost is the price tag you put on it. Now, the things with the most value are not always the things with the highest cost. If that were true, the chairman here would probably be worth millions of dollars, and he's obviously not. Something that brings a lot of emotions to us humans is music. Now, I'm guessing everybody here loves music. I'm also guessing everybody here knows the Beatles. They come from Great Britain. I'm very proud of them. So I'm going to use a bit of the Beatles' rhetoric to make a point. They've made two very famous songs. One of them is called, and I'm going to sing it for you to recognize it, All You Need Is Love. All you need is love. The second one is, You Can't Buy Me Love. Love. Okay, I made my point. It was very, very clear. The Beatles did it for me. So, think about a beautiful landscape. That's why we take pictures of them. A beautiful landscape. The wild eyes of a lynx. The naked body of a man. The thunder of a waterfall. All these things. What do they cost? They don't cost anything. You love them and they're beautiful, but they do not cost anything. They're totally free. And also, you were talking about freedom. I mean, freedom is free. What do you think? In freedom, there's free stuff. Okay, so I'm going to really beg you, jury, to enlighten yourself, make the correct choice, and support the motion. Thank you very much.
I did everything for her. I invited her to have a coffee first, then to a restaurant. I bought her a present.
Point of information?
Yeah.
We're obviously not all equal, because girls just keep falling in love with me and I don't have to do anything. Is that
I just want to go back to probably the best thing that JB did in his speech. And I think that was to use up that free minute that we allowed him.
Here.
By the way, JB, I certainly hope your girlfriend is not in the audience. Otherwise, you are going to spend probably one of the worst times of your life. You're going to pay for it.
I envisioned this wonderful,
beautiful memory of my ex. And all those times that we had. Alright, I don't think I can go back to this. But I must admit that choices I learned through bitter and raw experience. Thank you, Stephanie. To go back to that point, freedom of choice. Choice is always free. And, you know, if you don't make the right choices, you might end up being eaten by your cat, like our friend Simon's boy from New Orleans. Or you might lead a very successful, happy life. But the best thing about that life was the fact that you could choose, that you could actually make it your own. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was free. And I think a very important point that the opposition tried to make was that sacrifice sometimes is required.
Doesn't everybody here wake up every single morning thinking, I love oxygen? I don't think so. Though seriously, fuel tax.
One information.
Yes.
Did we ever say traveling by plane was one of the best things in life?
Well, no, but you did say something very interesting about beautiful landscapes. And I really can't see any right here.
No.
Would anyone like to make one final comment from the House? Would you like to?
It was, for us, as the jury, very consensual. I mean, we came to our decision both on who we thought was the best team and who deserved to win and who was the best, actually the best speaker we had a little more problem with. We chose Meme tonight as the best team. The decision was based a lot on the je ne sais quoi quality. That they were organized as a team, and they were entertaining, and they were poignant based on being at ease in speaking. They built up as a team to a kind of climax too. And climax is free. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and the chairman, and freedom.
This evening's debate, I would remind Patty Holmes that their other match against Telecom is on the 8th of February, and the Beaton team and supporters that our other match is against HEC, and it's on the 3rd of March. There will be refreshments available if you follow the crowd. There are a few refreshments at the back of the